Welcome to Great GREYS, your one-stop shop to finding winners from the world of greyhound racing. Host David Shortte is joined by Australia's premier greyhound form students, including Harry Buchanan from the Greyhound Insider, Joe Lanuti from Greyhounds HQ, Neil Brown previewing the Sandown action, Sean Matheson looking at South Australian chasing, and Simon Orchard with the latest in New South Wales chasing.
Good morning and welcome along to Great GREYS on this Thursday, the 7th of August 7th of September, 2023. How this year is getting away from us. Plenty of great greyhound action over the next few nights right around this nation. You'll hear all about it over the next hour here on TAB Radio. Let's open the program, as always, with the great man, Harry Buchanan. Welcome to you, H. How do we find you today?
Yes, good morning, Shorty. Good morning, listeners. And you find the Royal Mates. It's good to be with you, and I'm looking forward to talking racing. Some really good events heating up over the next few days. $1 million chasing full swing, of course, and a couple of good Kennington cards to look forward to this weekend.
Absolutely. Got the Dapto Megastar. We'll have a chat to Simon Orchard about that later on in the program today. And, of course, locally, Saturday night, really looking forward to a Big 12 race program out there at Cannington, highlighted by the Greyhounds WA Spring Gift Final. Tab Touch Market there, electrified at 225, looking to make it 5 on the bounce, solidified at 440, the Kennel Mate. In fact, the Crystal Shinners has first 3 in betting because Runaway to Mars, another of the impressive heat winners there last week, is on the third line of betting at $6. West on Odie, well drawn off the track at $6.50. Dandelup Blazer at $10. Hinto, $10. Granite Song, $13. Lentil Manelli at $21. The reserves there, Quick Smart at $21 and Supercharge $51. Cracking feature final there at headquarters on Saturday night, H.
Yeah, it's a ripper, Shorty, isn't it? And electrified, sitting up there in box 2. He can draw a box, this dog, and it's certainly going to put him in good stead in this field. There's a couple of dogs here have been following for a little while. A Runaway to Mars, the Kennel Mate, I think he's going super at the moment. Box 6 isn't ideal. Didn't like the way he cut across last week really quick, but he is definite at the moment. And I think Hinto's just flying. He's such a good dog, this guy. I know he's running a lot of placings, but it's not from lack of trying. He's just getting back a bit and running into one better. In saying that, Tab Touch is betting $10 Dandelup Blazer, and that's got my attention here. I just can't keep getting away from the run he put in last week, and at the very least, he could be the first on the scene. He behind Electrified, he could at least go with him, and he made up a stack of ground last week, this dog, and yeah, at that each way quote, he's probably the way I'll be leading at this stage, and with Runaway to Mars and Hinto also both in very good form. I'm just concerned with Hinto's draw. Obviously, he can come on from the back, and of course, Runaway Mars needs to get across, but tell you what, Shorty, at the double figures, Dandelup Blazer might be worth a play in that race. In saying that, all 8 dogs could win. It wouldn't be a great shock, and they tear the house down to the red dog. Granite Song got up the old war horse. He's sitting up there in box 1 for Dicarmody, and that'd be a great story if he could win the Spring Gift Final.
Yeah, it'd be very popular win. Granite Song's been such a versatile and durable campaigner, coming up for his 83rd start there on Saturday night. Prolific winner. He's won 26 races with a further 28 placings, closing in on $200,000 in prize money. And Diane Carmody, along with her late husband John, 2 of the more popular members of our fraternity for many, many years. It'd be pretty special if Granite Song could get up there on Saturday night. But it speaks volumes of why Western Australian chasers have been able to go to the East Coast and be successful in recent times, when you can put on a feature final with a couple of your stars away and still come up with a field of this quality. There's plenty of really smart dogs here in WA at the moment. A few of them still working their way through the grades on their way to the top as well. So great times here in WA. Of course, we saw Sage to Neil across there representing WA and getting the job done only a couple of weeks ago. It appears that at the moment the stocks are as good as they've been for many, many years here in WA greyhound racing. Let's get into finding a few winners for the listeners. Harry, we've got chasing tonight at Northam locally. Also, Sandown is where you've put your focus for today. Let's start locally at Northam. First race gets underway there, 5:46 this evening at Burwood Park.
Yeah, absolutely, Shorty. We saw Joe Daly take a horde of dogs up there last week to have their first look, and that could be telling today. He's got a strong hand right through the card, and A couple of those will be very, very hard to stop. I'm going to kick it off in race 6 here. Number 4, Venetian. He missed the start last week behind Chloe Ant at Kennington. In saying that, he has got form around her, and Dusty Deluxe right back to refer to Trader, Polygon Manelli. All these dogs would be very, very short in this. He only has to offset the box here. He'll get the job done. He's met with a bit of support as well. Most importantly, he likes Northern. 10 starts for 2 and 4. He'll get every possible hope here in this grade, and we'll kick it off with him there in race number 6. Go down to race 7. This is one of the daily runners, Kanji Giant, the former Victorian. He put in a good effort last week. He ran second to Shadow Manelli. He went 78 himself, 29.78, only beaten the 2 lengths, and didn't look overly comfortable in the run. He'll go much better here. The kennel mate inside, Moment the Hustle, goes very, very quickly, and will find the front, and that'll just give him a nice drag here. Redhead Rider outside him, a little concern, but look, he's got one of the stronger dogs in the run home. If he can get a nice crack in the back straight there and run into it, he'll be very, very hard to stop. Down to race 8, number 3, Grass Patch, just the fastest stop in the race. It's as simple as that. This will be decided in the run to the first turn here. Liquor License will go quick. Halcyon Days, Georgia Flash, but look, if Grass Patch finds the top, they're going to have to go 50 to beat her. I don't think there's anything in this race that'll come from the back and run her down if she does find the top. Ignore the last start. Found all sorts of trouble there in that final. Much better dog than that. 6 starts over this track for 4 wins and a placing. It's a good record at a track like Northern, and she'll be hard to stop there. They're getting a good price too, around $4 with Tab Touch. That's a great bet for her. Race 11, number 1. Finish it off with Dash Yak. He was another one of the daily runners who had his first look last week, but it just didn't bother him one iota. He handled the track like he'd been there 100 times. He'll go much better this time, Shorty, off the inside, and he doesn't have to do much more than 17-19, winning last week to get this put away. Henry keeping in box 2, hard to stop. Will show some speed. Payakaroon and Ruby's Rocket out wide, but he's just boxed to win this dog. He's very, very fast. His box 1 record is lethal, and as I said, doesn't need much improvement in last week. So race 6, number 4, race 7, number 4, race 8, number 3, and race 11, number 1. That's at Northern this evening, Shorty.
Very nice. They are the thoughts for Harry this evening locally at Northern. What about at Sandown this evening? Another really good program to get involved with there tonight. 11 race card. First race up for debate there. Comes up locally at 8 minutes past 4 this afternoon.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll kick it off in race 4. I'm going to stick with Kybale here. He went down on his nose last week, just after the start, trying to go into the straight the first time. There's a wall of dogs in front of him, and he clipped off heels. His run was okay. He was beaten 5 lengths behind Raven Parrot, but to do what he did, considering he almost, came down, it was a very good effort. Small field here. He's better than that. And if he gets a much closer run in transit here, he's very hard to stop. He's got that lethal back section. Playing to hit top 2 at that price there, Shorty, and hopefully kick us off with a win. Now we'll go down to race 9. This has got a little bit of interest here. Postman Pat sitting up in box 1. He's $1.35, and he should be. But he's only got 4 opponents. One of those is Hector Fawley out in box 8. He went 33.67 over the middle trip there at Sandown last start. And you've got to remember, he's a fast dog, this bloke. He's very strong. He's not going to get a lot of traffic here, and Postman Pat's going to need some sort of break on him. Look, he's going to get away, clearly, but if Hector Fawley does get any sort of clear run and get behind him, I think he's in trouble, and I just don't know how he's going to hold this pink off late. So there's a fair bit of interest in that. In saying that, look, you're getting $1.35 for him to run second. If you want to charge in at that, go ahead, because I wouldn't mind taking it myself. Around that 370 or 135 is a bet to hit top 2, and he can win the race. Does have to get there quickly, but he won't miss second, all things being equal. Down to race 11, we'll finish it off here. There's a bit of value this morning before the scratchings. Bar Rose, number 2, into $9 now with those 2 scratchings. Still a bet, though. The concern is the 15 starts at the track, no wins, 7 placings. But if she's ever going to break through, it'll be in this. She's got form around, Raven, Nighthawk, Call Me Marley, dogs like that. Much better grade. It's an easier run here, Shorty, off box 2. The dog in box 1 will be hard to stop, but again, probably does hit top 2, can win the race. Very strong last split. They'll be the 3 there tonight. Race 4, number 8. Race 9, number 8. Bit of interest in that race. And race 11, number 2, to take us out at Sandown this evening.
Beautifully done, Harry. Appreciate your time as always. We will hear from you tomorrow morning, 6:30 on the Sports Daily with Digby and Tim, and then we team up tomorrow afternoon for the Mail Collection. That podcast will be dropping around 4:30 Western Standard Time across all of our Twitter channels, the Dogs WA, Tab Radio, Tab Touch, the Greyhound Insider, at Shorty, any of those Twitter handles. A podcast that has a look at the Big Four meetings over the weekend, the Meadows Saturday night, Wentworth Park Saturday night, Cannington Friday and Saturday, Kennel Mail, the very best of the weekend, novelty bets, quaddies, you name it. It's all covered there in the Mail Collection each and every Friday afternoon from 4:30. Look forward to teaming up with you then, H. Until that moment, many winners to you.
Thank you, brother. Talk tomorrow.
There we have it. Harry Buchanan with us this morning here on Great Greys. Well, it's now 14 minutes after 10. Let's have a look. Next race for broadcast here on TAB Radio coming up in 8 minutes' time. It's race number 2 there at Gatton. And we see Extreme Belief head up betting on the fixed odds with Tab Touch 340 into 3. Russian Diva 4 into 390. On the target's been easy to back 230 out to 420. Devil's Wear 14 into 650. Super Exceptional 11 into 8. Prince of Marrakesh has been 34 into 13. War on Bling 41 to 21. Blue Smarty 41 and firm. And Jane 34 out to $51. A stack of scratchings out of race number 2 there at Gatton. Our $3 favourite on the fixed, Extreme Belief. Time though now to catch up with Jaycin Campbell. Have a look at a bit of chasing all around Australia tonight. We'll kick off though up there at Albion Park where he does his best work. He now joins us. Welcome to you, JC. How do we find you on this Thursday?
Yeah, good, Shorty. How are you, mate?
Going beautifully, thanks, mate. It's a lovely sunny day here in Perth. The footy finals are on tonight. The racing's really heating up. Lots of great greyhound action as well around the nation over the next few days. Let's get into a bit of Albion Park chasing action, see if we can't build a bank heading towards the weekend. Who are you liking tonight up there at the Creek?
Yeah, 11 races tonight from Albion Park. Got to kick off in race 2. Happy to play the favourite here, Lily Manelli. She's currently $1.70 with Tab Touch. She is getting better with age, really. She's ageing like a fine red wine. Her runs at Townsville were very good behind Hara Serbian Redemption Day in that Townsville Cup Series, and then she's come back, run 29.83, if you don't mind, as a 4-year-old and 6-month bitch. That is absolutely flying. It was a PB at start number 101. Steps back up to the 600 metres tonight. 4 starts ago, she won by 3.5 lengths, being excessive home out of box 7. Draws similarly here in box 6. Samurai Mind on an inside in box 5, stepping up from the 500 metres. I think he'll provide a perfect card across, and I think she'll lob outside him early, probably cross him down the back straight and prove too strong. I think she is the best of the night at Albion Park, race 2, number 6, Lily Manelli.
Former Sandgroper on top there. Gee, she's had wonderful longevity in her career, having a 102nd start tonight there for Jetta Cutlick, and some good connections involved. We wish Lily Manelli all the best tonight there in race 2, number 6. Who else do you like tonight at Albion Park, Jace?
Yeah, going to the next 600-metre race on the card, playing the red box here, race 6, number 1, Jimmy the Singer. He's returned from a 2-month spell in really good fashion. He's had 3 starts, 1, 2, and placed in his other start, running third to Brightest Gun. The key here is box 1. He's had 5 starts for 3 wins and a second. Track and distance, as mentioned, going really good. 7 starts for 4 wins and a second. Finds a race here where a few of these are a bit either susceptible at the 600, as in Bogey Hurricane, and Jewel B. I think they need a little bit further than 600. I think they need 700. And you got dogs like Baccarat Boy and Wendy Rocks. Wendy Rocks, in my opinion, one of the better 700-metre dogs in Queensland. She's been off the scene for about 4 to 6 weeks due to a season. This just looks like a kick-off point for her. I just don't know where she's going to get to on the bend start from a wide box. I think Jimmy the Singer is going to find the front here, and he's got to prove very hard to beat. Hasn't run the hands off the clock in any of these runs, but has broken 35 seconds here. And with fitness now on his side, I expect him to slice that time down tonight.
Nice. Race 6, number 1, Jimmy the Singer. And the 30th place tonight at Albion Park?
Yeah, last race here, had some success in the Masters races recently. Not normally a fan of the Masters company, the MST5s, but happy to play Springtime Storm here. He's having his first run in Masters company. Prior to this, he's versed the likes of Emerald Eyes, J, Double Up Bill, Atomic Warren, Magistrate. The list goes on. Plain and simple, he looks too good for these. He has been racing as mentioned, much better quality. Will enjoy being back to Masters company. Hasn't quite been able to lead in races. It does his best when he does lead. He has won over the 395 in good time here. And I think he will lead. Call me Buster in box one. He was terribly unlucky last start. But he's one of those flashing light dogs. He gets a long way back. He hasn't won a race for a long time. It's just very hard to dive into at short prices to win. Definitely one to put into exotics because you'll be running home. Same thing with Hopeful Bella. She gets her third start in Masters company this preparation. She has different form lines around Tungsten Miss and Queenslander, but she also fails to begin that well. I think Springtime Storm will find the front, and then it's just pretty much, if one of these lob on him, then yeah, he might not be strong enough, but, you know, that's if, whereas we know we've got to be leading out of that first turn.
Sticking with a dog that's got that early sectional to set up the win in of the last race, 11, number 4, Springtime Storm. 2-6, Lily Manelli, 6-1, Jimmy the Singer, 11-4, Springtime Storm tonight at Albion Park. 2 minutes to go until the next race, punters at Gatton, and still our $3 favourite there, Extreme Belief, in front of Russian Diva at $3.80, minute 40 to get your bets on there. Jace, got a couple for us tonight at Warragul?
Yeah, Warragul going to race 1, playing the first race here. Number 2, Party Go Easy. She is currently $2.80. I think it's a really good price. I think she should be closer to even money. She's jumped off the red both starts, but she's bumped into 2 handy dogs. Shake It Off on debut. She runs second, but got beat 9 lengths, and he went a very sharp time, just a couple lengths off best of the night, which was set by maxed out in the free-fall race, who's won up to 25 races. And then her next start, Bernardo's Baby, she drew box 1. She jumped all right. She just didn't have the speed to go with him. And he came through the heels for the 300-metre maiden series, which has thrown a few really hot pups. I think she'll cross the red here early. She just looks like she'll lead. And I think 23-20 could probably win this race. And she's already proven she can go that. If she finds the front on her own, I think she can potentially break that 23-second mark. So I'm playing her in race 1. And I'm just going to race 6 now. I'm happy to play the fair flight runner here in number 8, Many Ways. Comes out of a really hot Grade 5 series last week where SP $31 from box 4. Run 5th behind Skinny Olive. She has since been heavily supported in the final. Run a cracking second behind Your Colour Room, who's one of the sharpest dogs in Queens in Victoria right now. I think Many Ways will really appreciate the pink box despite not winning out of it. Looks to sit off Redshift Papa here, who looks to be the speed in the race, and I think he can get over the top late of the 4 rugs. So that's race 1, number 2 at Warragul, and race 6, number 8.
Beautiful. 1, 2, 6, 8 there at Warragul.
You're listening to Great Greys on Tab Radio.
Where it's 24 minutes after 10, we're having a chat to Jaycin Campbell. He shared his thoughts for Albion Park and Warragul tonight. He's also got a play at Angle Park and a couple at Hobart. What are we playing across there in South Australia tonight, Jace?
Yeah, sprinkling a bit of dough across the joints, hopefully get some luck somewhere. Race 3, number 7, Mapunga Sunrise. 2 heats of the SA Oaks and SA Derby tonight. And I think she'll be very hard to beat here, and then potentially from a lot of box next week. Watch out, punters. I think she'll be very hard to beat in the final. Not sure if the full field will necessarily aid her chances, but I think she finds a really winnable heat here. She is a dog to watch out for in the future. Some of her wins have been absolutely breathtaking. She's run 29.33 at Sandown at start number 3, I think, or start number 4, if you don't mind. So clearly shows the ability of her. She's yet to even turn 2 years of age. She's a big winner of the 660. I think she's a middle distance and staying dog to watch. Box 6 here, Zinfandel Evie has good speed, as does Where's Poppy, and Purified has some pretty sharp wins over the 400 at Geelong. So I think they will all make the running out in front. Hopefully they cut at each other and muck around and play with each other. She'll just be stalking them behind, smoking the pipe, and just watch her late. She is very strong, and I think she'll explode over the top of these. So that's race 3, number 7 at Angle Park.
Very nice. Race 3, number 7, Mapunga Sunrise, and Hobart tonight.
Yeah, just quickly, race 2, number 4, Do It. He's been a marvel campaigner for all involved. He just finds a race here. It looks like a walk-up start. Collect your first place remittance from Racing Tasmania. I think Ticket to Heaven in this race, Swallows 40 is completely under the odds. I think the price is getting heavily factored into its win 2 starts ago. I own the dog that runs second, that race Crypto Model, and he wouldn't be the highest chase in the world. He does like to look at the landscape when he finds the front, if you want to say that. I think Do It, $1.55 now. He has been people have been chopping away all morning. I think he could easily be $1.20 in a race like this. And he just finds a front and wins. He's just much better than them. And then race 6, number 1, Star of Venus, another one that's been pretty heavily supported, $2.80 to $2.10. Newcomer to the Apple Isle, won on debut at Launceston in a really sharp $15.99 over the shorts. What impressed me most is he actually missed a kick that day, and he's only run just about a length and a half outside the track record. So could have potentially broke the track record if he jumped a bit cleaner. Step up to 461. I'm a massive fan of dogs stepping up in distance. They seem to be able to really sprint well fresh and get out of trouble. I think you'll find the front here just not a really strong race. I think he can run 26 dead, and the rest of this field look like 26-2, 26-3 dogs. So I think Star of Venus will make a winning debut to his 461, starts at Hobart.
Beautiful. Race 2, number 4, Do It. Race 6, number 1, Star of Venus tonight there at Hobart. Jaycin Campbell, thanks so much for your time as always here on Great Greys. We'll be cheering hard for these runners tonight. Let's hope a few of them can get the cash, and good luck with all of your kennel runners as well over the next few days.
Thanks, Shorty.
There we have it. Jaycin Campbell with us here on Great Greys.
This is your home of the Greyhound Good Oil, Great Greys.
And we're catching up with a great man by the name of Neil Brown. And it was remiss of us last week. We got caught up celebrating the win of Sage to Neil in the National Championships. It was a special week as well for this man. Of course, only a few weeks ago, the Neil Brown Museum launched there at Sandown. But a really special moment and wonderful recognition for a lifetime spent promoting our great sport and involved in administration as one of the fine men in this sport of greyhound racing for many decades. Neil Brown was inducted into the Australian Greyhound Racing Hall of Fame, along with his great mate and another fine serviceman over many, many years in Eddie Caruana. And it was remiss of me to miss that last week. Neil, congratulations. Welcome to the program today. What a wonderful recognition of a lifetime of hard work you've put into this sport, and to share the night with your great mate Eddie Caruana, who is one of the, along with yourself, one of the great statesmen of Australian greyhound racing. Must have been a really special occasion for you.
Yes, good morning, David. It really was a tremendous night, and of course you forgot, of course, the great Jeff Dawson came in with us as well. So
Smokey, what a legend! What a night!
It was fantastic and very special to be inducted with Eddie and Smokey, two of my great mates in the sport. And I've spent a lot of time with them in at Sandown Park and at Olympic Park and the Meadows. And it was pretty well kept secret, David. As you know, it did mean a lot to me because I am close to the process of it, and a lot of people kept the secret from me very well. So it was topped off a fantastic month, of being involved in the sport. So it was a great night, David. And yes, I think everybody enjoyed it. A spectacular evening, as I think we said last week, put together by your very own David Simonetti, and nobody does it better.
That is the truth. An honour well deserved for yourself. And I wasn't aware of Smokey, so another great man in our sport. He did a phenomenal job at Sandown for so many years, and also to Ed. So if you see those two fine gents, please pass on our congratulations. It's very much deserved, and we appreciate what they've done over the years to have the sport of greyhound racing where it is today. All right, Brownie, let's see if we can't get a few bucks out of this program tonight at Sandown. The first race gets underway 8 minutes past 4 here in WA, an 11 race card. What are we doing with the early quaddie and the quaddie tonight?
Going pretty skinny, David. There's smallish fields, quite a few vacant boxes. The first is a grade 7 over the 5.15. Only going to take 1 and 2. I think Riviera Bale is the greyhound to beat there. In race number 2, we've got a grade 6 for over the 5.15 metres. Again, I like 1 and 2. The check's pretty short, but I like Tootsie on top. I think it may be able to lead and hang on to the lead in a pretty even field. 1 and 2 there. American Queen, I think, can win the third, a grade 5 over the 5.15. I'm only going to take 1 and 3, Formula Tyre there. And in the last leg of the early quad, race number 4, it's a 5.95. Good race, free for all. Good quality field here. I'm going to take 4, 8 and 1. Got Andrea Bale on top there. And so pretty skinny in the early quad. Moving on to the main quad tonight, race number 5, 5.15 restricted wind final. sale to Sandown. These greyhounds qualified last Sunday at the recommencement of greyhound racing at Sale. Track looks fabulous down there. I did like Smooth Criminal. It's come out of the race, so I'm only going to take 2, 7 and 5 now. Pretty even bunch of greyhounds here. I've got Wild Jazz on top. Hasn't done much wrong so far. 5 from 7. It's drawn okay here. I think it can win. Granny Roses out in the 7 box. Need a bit of luck over the 5-15 from wide draws these days. Won a heat on Sunday quite impressively and has shown some early pace. And 5 Lakeview Lana, I think, from box number 5. Need a bit of luck from that draw. But here it's got 3 from 9 and just needs to come out of boxes okay from the 5 and be up on the pace. So firstly 2-7 and 1 with the 1 coming out. A little bit of money for the 9 coming into box number 1. Race number 6, 5:15 metre grade 5 here. I made it 8-7-2. Can make a case for the 1. Lend Me Dad. Well, he had a look at the track last week. He still looks on his Sydney form a class above a grade 5 field here at Sandown Park. I thought he ran on okay. Wasn't a bad performance. As I said, seems to be a little bit of a graveyard out there in 8. I'm a little reluctant to select them on top, but we'll give him another chance. Lend Me Dad on top to beat the 7. Ike Bale has 2 lead all the way wins and always handy without sort of being overly consistent. And Richie Bale, number 2, solid win at the Meadows from an inside draw, certainly a chance. And I reckon you could make a case for Rhino Bale if you want to throw him in from box number 1. He's drawn okay. Race number 7, the third leg of the quaddie here at grade 5 over the 5:15. We'll give Tim Zoo another chance tonight. I made it 2-1-3. He's short again at $1.25, so he's a bit of a risk at that price, but he got a bump straight out of boxes last week, and then he got squeezed out of the first turn. Every time he seemed to make a run into the race, he got checked, so he'll be better for that performance. He's drawn okay again. I think he's the dog to beat. The red Soledad Bale, well drawn, went okay. From the 5 at Geelong, a couple of starts back. It's got a chance in the race. And West Star Commander, I think, from box number 3, consistent without breaking through too often with a winning form, but is a chance and with some luck in running, I think, can run forward here. So we'll take 2, 1 and 3. Pretty short, Tim Zoo from box 2. And race number 8, coming home in the quaddie, grade 5 over the 5.95. Good race here. I made it 1, 5 and 7. Raven Nighthawk has the draw and certainly the form. Looks the leader to me and the one to beat. Trending Yale being placed well at the Meadows and looks the danger at this sort of level. She's certainly a chance. And Multi Matt has some early pace and he can probably get up on the speed here and be a chance in the race. So 1, 5 and 7. Best bet's pretty difficult tonight, David. What I thought I might do is have the box challenge. I reckon there's a heap of reds got a chance tonight. We might even be game enough to take 5 box 1s or better. So that'll be paying all right. And I reckon a multi in the last 3 races, 9, 10 and 11, take the 1. We're looking at about $3.20. So good luck and good punting tonight on a solid 11 race card at Sandown.
Beautifully done, Neil. Appreciate your time as always, and we'll be cheering hard for the Cherry Rug tonight there at Sandown. Look forward to catching up with you next week, Neil. Enjoy the week 1 of the finals. Good luck with the Saints.
Good on you, mate. Yeah, we've certainly got a chance against that mob. Whether we can go any further, not sure, but I think they can beat GWS. Got a pretty good record against them.
All right, good luck, Brownie. Enjoy it. Get around them this weekend. St Kilda, of course, a long-time Saints fan, our man Neil Brown, and that was wonderful news hearing of his induction into the Australian Greyhound Racing Hall of Fame there at the Nationals a couple of weeks ago, along with Eddie Caruana and Jeff Smokey Dawson, who, of course, was the Chairman at the Sandown Greyhound Racing Club for many, many years. Did a wonderful job during the halcyon days of greyhound racing there in Victoria. Let's now see if we can't head across to South Australia, catch up with our man Sean Matheson. Next race for broadcast punters here on TAB Radio will be race number 1 at Hawkesbury. It's 13 minutes away, and Broadcaster is our current favourite on the fixed odds with Tab Touch at 205. They're there, $3.10. Let's get this one right. Marinaro on the third line, $6. Big Boy George at $9.50. Royalify at $14, Helinda at $17, and President Victory is a $34 chance. 3 scratchings, 4, 8 and 10, all coming out there in race number 1 of the day at Hawkesbury. Broadcaster, our $2.05 fixed odds favourite. Huge night of chasing to look forward to at Angle Park tonight. Of course, we have got heats of the Oaks and Derby, and looking forward to catching up with our man with all of the latest, Sean Matheson, to have a look at these heats this evening. And he now joins us on Great Greys. Welcome to you, Sean. No doubt you're looking forward to getting out there trackside tonight. Some really good heats of the Oaks and Derby for the punters to get involved with.
Oh, most definitely, David. Yeah, great to be on the show with you again this Thursday. It's really does kick off our sort of spring racing carnival with the Group 3 Oaks and Derby heats tonight. Match race coming up in a few weeks' time, all leading to the Group 1 Adelaide Cup. So, yeah, tonight is the real kick-off where we see that real interstate flavour come across the border and try and take some of our South Australian money. But the locals will be hopefully looking to retain it here. But, yeah, 2 heats for the Oaks and 2 heats for the Derby. So some real nice high-quality youngsters going around.
Indeed. Let's get your better bets on the card tonight there at Angle Park.
Okay, so the first of them, David, will come up in race 2, and it is the first heat of the SA Oaks, and it's number 6, Winburn Honey for Ben England. Had its first look at Angle Park last week in a race, absolutely bombed the start from box 1, was seen flashing home at the end late in the race to run second, a real eye-catching performance with a first look at the track. Goes to box 6, which I think will absolutely suit her. She would have been here the week. I think Lauren Harris and Ryan Tugwell probably looking after her. And she has a vacant box on her inside and a scratching on her outside. So I think she'll get plenty of room to come out nicely. There are definitely some nice greyhounds drawn inside. But I think she'll just get a nice run across. And she showed how strong she was last week. The run under the belt will help her. And I just loved the way she went last week. So at around the $4, David, I think that's a really good bet for the first one of the night.
Okay, race 2, number 6, Winburn Honey to get the job done. The greyhound from the Apple Isle was a big performance off box 1, overcoming Brahma last week and hitting the line particularly well. Should be better off for the run second up. On to the second of your plays tonight. Second
of my plays will actually come up later in the night, and it's race 9, number 1, Basil Brush Rose. Now, we tipped Basil Brush Rose last week from box 1 again, and he missed the kick, but he drove up, as we sort of thought, up the inside, got himself into a really winnable position, and I probably was a bit disappointed he didn't go on with it. He ended up running second, which was still a really good performance. He's drawn box 1 again tonight in a very similar field to what he met last week. The 2-dog Fat Boy's Lucky doesn't really cross hard down to the rail, likes to sit off the track. So I think Basil Brush Rose, even if he misses it again, hopefully not as badly as last week, he should be able to drive forward on the first turn unimpeded and get right in behind the speed. And we know he is a really strong dog at the end of his races, and there's been a bit of weather around in Adelaide, so the track's might be a little bit rain affected. So I think the strength will come into it for him. So I think he'll be able to hopefully get over the top of him. It's a wide open race. He's the favourite around $3.60, but I think with a good beginning, he should be right up there. So he's the second of our plays.
All right, you're going to stick with Basil to get it done tonight. Race 9, number 1, Basil Brush Rose, and the third of your plays?
Third of the plays will actually come up in the last race, and it's an each-way play. We did have a bit of luck last week with our each-way play, with Shan's Jinx getting up, I think, around $17, David. So really happy with her at Gawler last Friday. But I'm going to look to race 12, number 5, Krasner tonight for the Bosco Stamenkovic team. this greyhound is around $8.50 in the market. Had its first look at 5:30 Angle Park last week in running fifth. Began really well and then was checked on the first turn and did run home okay. So I'd forgive that run. It's not an overly strong race. The 4-dog Beer Coaster does have speed on its inside. So I'm just looking at Krasner coming out with Beer Coaster, getting a nice run across, and anything in the Stamenkovic team, particularly if there's a little bit of support for them, they definitely will run well. And I reckon this one's got ability, and I think as it steps up to this 530-metre distance with a bit more racing will be a nice type. So at the 850 on an each-way basis.
Very nice. So just repeating that last one for us there, Sean.
It's race 12, number 5, Krasner.
Race 12, number 5, Krasner, $8.50. A very nice quote for the punters to get involved with tonight there at Angle Park. 2-6, Wimburn Honey, 9-1, Basil Brush Rose. Race 12, number 5, Krasner on an each-way basis. And you're 100% right, $16.20. Shan's Jinx there last week, your each-way play at Gawler. That was magnificent. We'll be asking you to do something similar tomorrow there at Gawler, and also Murray Bridge on Sunday, please, Sean.
Well, probably not the same price as David, but you never know. Something they could blow out in the market, you never know. But at Gawler tomorrow, I'm liking race 10, number 4, Gucci Giblet for Brenda Oakey. A lot of her team is going really well. She's a nice type. She's been really consistent in her performance. She's a dog that does have good early speed, so I actually do expect her to lead this race. I think it's a 2-dog race between her and the 1. And I think she can cross the 1, and I think she'll be able to pinch enough of a break that she can hang on and get the win. So I'm liking her tomorrow at Gawler, race 10, number 4, Gucci Giblet. And then off to Murray Bridge on the Sunday night. And I like race 5, number 5, Zambora Blaze. She drops back to the 395 on Sunday night after competing over 530 metres and competed really respectively in the Kings and Queens final after doing really well in the heat. So a real drop back in class here. Middle draw will suit because it's a greyhound that doesn't necessarily want to be hard on the rail, so will come out nice, and the class edge should be able to get her over the top of her rivals on Sunday night.
Love it. Race 5, number 5, Zambora Blaze to round out SA chasing over the weekend. Sean, tremendous having you on the program as always today. Fingers crossed for many winners for our listeners again over the next few nights. And enjoy Oaks and Derby night tonight there at Angle Park. Look forward to having a chat about those finals next Thursday.
Oh, most definitely, David. Talk to you then.
There we have it. Sean Matheson having a look at all things South Australian chasing with us here on Great Greys today. We're only 5 minutes away from the first of the day here at Hawkesbury. Broadcaster very well backed, was $2.05 when we last spoke a few minutes ago about this race. Now into $1.90 on the fix with Tab Touch. They're there at $3.40. Marinaro at $6.50. Big Boy George at $9.50. Royalify at $14, Halindar at $18, and President Victory at $41. A tick over 4 minutes away until the first of the day there at Hawkesbury. Time though now to catch up with Simon Orchard. He's been in great form as always for us here on Great Greys, and no doubt he's nice and fizzed up because we've got some sort of night of chasing tonight to look forward to there at Dapto. It is the Megastar final over the 520 metres. Quality field engaged. Umberto, the $3.10 favourite for Jason Thompson, crossed the border from Victoria. Mortified for Chris O'Brien at $3.30. Stealth, second of the Jason Thompson runners at $6. Bailey Bear at $6.50. A Fire at $7. Remember this $8.50. Quantifiable at $10. And Return Mac out there in box 8, the $34 outside of it. Cracking field engaged, should be a beauty. Let's get the thoughts of our man Simon Orchard on the big one tonight there, the Dapto Megastar. Welcome to you, Simon. How do we find you today?
Shorty, you're spot on, mate. You find me fizzing to the brim. I like that term, mate. Fizzed up. I'm about to jump in the car and make the not too big a journey down to Dapto tonight for the Megastar. Of course, the coverage on the dogs.com.au. Mark Duclos, Timmy Newbold, Mick Cowley and myself will be on track. The other boys will be in the studio. And you're right, Shorty, big night. It's great to see the Megastar. I reckon it's found its spot in the program. I know it's been in the latter half of the year, the last couple of years, but back into this September slot, right smack bang in the middle of the $1 million chase. We've obviously got the Blacktop coming up in a couple of weeks as well. And we've seen the trainers, participants have voted by putting their dogs into the fields. I think Umberto, Stealth and a Fire, you mentioned before, Shorty, coming up from Victoria is a real sign that maybe the programmers have got this race bang on, and it's a hell of a fight. I'll tell you what, they are going to be flying into that first turn at Dapto. We know there's so much speed in the race, mate. You've mentioned a couple of them already. I think the lean for me has to be towards Umberto and Mortified 1 and 2. I just think they're going to get the best run in the race. Mortified, I guess the query on her is how well is she going to perform after, 3 or 4 months off the track after such a brilliant return last week. I'd love to see Chris O'Brien get a Group 1 with her. I think she deserves it. And Umberto, I spoke to Jace Thompson this morning. It's the tip out of his 2. He thinks Stealth's got a stack of speed, but he was just querying whether or not it could get across to the fence with so much pace inside. 1, 2, 3, 4, they can all fly. A Fire, look, big improver. First look at the track last week, went 29.70. Can only probably get better. And then we haven't even mentioned, remember this, who was such a good winner last week, Bailey Bear, the quickest heat qualifier, 29.49. And Return Mac, if Shane Stiff gets up, gee whiz, I reckon he'll shout the bar. So plenty of great storylines and cannot wait to get on track later tonight.
Magnificent. Sounds like a big night in store there at Dapto. Head to thedogs.com.au for all of the latest coverage tonight. Where are we going to have a bet over the next couple of days? Simon, what have you pinpointed for us?
Everywhere, Shorty. We're going to try and get a few across the board. Casino today will start race 7, number 2, Inevitable. So that's 7-2, Inevitable, about 15 minutes' time. Gunnedah later on, race 11, number 8, Tralee Alvey. That's 11-8 at Gunnedah, Tralee Alvey. At Dapto tonight, I've mentioned at the Megastar race 7, I like the 2, Mortified. I'd love to see Chris O'Brien get a win with this wonderful litter of his, which includes, of course, Quantifiable, the litter sister in 3, and Modern Swinger. We know the New South Wales National Sprint champ, but race 7, number 2, Mortified. And race 8, number 7, Bandit Jane, track record holder over 600 metres, only dog to crack 34 seconds. I think Bandit Jane can win as well, race 8, number 7. And if we just move forward to Saturday, Shorty, race 8, number 8 at Wenty Park, Zipping Smudge. Really exciting young dog for Jace Magri. Phil Davis Memorial winner at Richmond last week has won 6 of 7. First time away from Richmond. Excited to see what Zipping Smudge can do. That's race 8, number 8. And 11-6, Ezra Mann, named after one of my favourite Brisbane Broncos players, a finalist in the Big Grafton Maiden a few months back. Promising type, thinks he can run well also. That's race 8, number 8, Zipping Smudge, and race 11, number 6, Ezra Mann, the 2 best on the card at Wenty on Saturday night.
Magnificent work, Simon. Appreciate your time as always here on Great Greys. $1 million chase continuing as you touched on. Stacks of feature racing to come from New South Wales over the upcoming weeks and months. And Simon will join us weekly to have a look at it. But for now, good luck to everybody involved there tonight there at Dapto in the Richard Megastar final. Look forward to seeing your coverage later on tonight, Simon. All the best.
Cheers, Shorty. Hooroo.
There we have it, thedogs.com.au for the latest tonight if you're looking to follow all of the action there for the Megastar.
This is Great Greys on Tab Radio. Go, you good thing.
Big boy George will be in town with Culture Club not too far away from now, boy George as well.
He's been gone, Shorty.
Oh, he's been in gone. I missed him on the way through, Georgie boy. But, very popular in the 80s, of course. And I'm sure with any punters that have jumped on Big Boy George there at the $8.10. I know one man that did have a few of his posters up in the room, the Shane Train, about to join us here on Great Grey. So welcome to you, Train.
Oh, very good start by you, Shorty. Boy George Culture Club. That was the day, Shorty.
Oh, weren't they just watching Melly Meldrum on a Sunday night there on Countdown, and they were very, very popular back in the day. Make no mistake about that. As you are here on Great Greys Train, I've got an interesting program to look forward to tonight there at Northam, Cannington Friday and Saturday. We'll also have a look at your kennel runners. Let's start off, though, with your thoughts for tonight there at Northam. Pair of Cherry Bombers.
Yeah, pair of Cherry Bombers tonight, Shorty. I think it's going to be short but sweet tonight. Kick it off race 7, number 1, Stanger Fire. Shorty, this dog's probably been the most consistent free-for-all dog at Northam this season. He's got a very fast PB of 29.39. Very good record from box 1. So I reckon Morgan's will be getting him ready for the Northam Cup, which is in about 10 or 12 days' time, Shorty. So Stanger Fire will kick it off for us, race 7, number 1. And we'll go over to race 11, number 1, Dapsiak. Shorty, it was good for us last week. I am assuming that was its first look last week, so I think it is going to improve a fair bit off that. So box 1, the key there, and another dog that's got a good box 1 record. So about $3.80 the double, Shorty. I'm happy to play 7-1, 11-1 tonight at Northam.
7-1, 11-1 this evening there at Burwood Park. We switch our focus to Cannington on Friday night, and you switch from a pair of cherries to a bit of fairy floss action.
Yeah, a bit of fairy floss action, Shorty, your favourite. We'll kick it off race 7, number 8, Dusty Deluxe. Just a dog that's dropping out of city and provincial races back to a country grade 4, 5, 6 over the 600. And I think he's well suited out in 8. Normally 8's not a good box over the 600, but I think this dog will take care of this field. So race 7, number 8, Dusty Deluxe. And then race 8, number 8, Flying Free to Shorty, was good for us last week as well. I do think they might take it on from box 8, and we might get a decent sort of a price somewhere around that $2, $2.20, I think. So happy to play them 2 fairy flosses on Friday night, Shorty, 7, 8 and 8, 8.
All right, 7, 8, 8, 8. On to Cannington Saturday night. Listed spring gift final. Should be an absolute beauty.
Yeah, it'll be a good race, Shorty. Looks a bit messy on paper. A few dogs sort of not drawn where they want to be, but good luck to everyone that has a runner in that race. I'm going to kick my selections off in race 7, Shorty, number 7, Miss Ronnie Mack, dog trained by Corey White, whose kennel is absolutely airborne at the moment. It's been around the money and just found Penny Magic, dead heated with it 2 starts ago, and it got the measure of it last week. So no more Penny Magic in this city novice over 600. Leaves it for Miss Ronnie Mack to take the prize there, Shorty. So race 7, number 7, Miss Ronnie Mack, and then we'll go over to race 10, number 4, Corporn Roses. It's the free for all over 700. This very soft track last week, Shorty. Only concern for me is obviously the dogs come through the run. Lewis wouldn't have put him in if it hadn't, but it was very testing and trying conditions last week. A lot of them dogs went around on a very soft track, so providing they come through that run all right, I think it'll be hard to beat, Shorty. So 7-7 and 10-4 Corborn Roses.
All righty, 7-7 and 10-4 for the train there on Saturday night at Cannington.
You're listening to GREYS on Tab Radio.
Well, we're catching up with the Shane Train Williams. Shane, we'll round it out with your thoughts from the kennel over the next few days.
Yeah, got quite a few runners in, Shorty, over the weekend. Probably the 2 best, I think, will be Saturday night, race 8, number 1, Nangar Chief. Look, his last 2 starts, you can just forget about him. He got introduced to the outside fence 2 starts ago and then got galloped on from behind last week when he was in a striking position to make that spring gift final. So box 1 he'll relish, 600 he'll relish. If he can jump on the arm, Shorty, he'll run some time. It's a very hard race, and I think any dog can win that race, but I think I've seen $5. Very good bet each way, top 2, obviously. And then we'll go to Northam on Monday. Tipped her last week. She ran second. I think this field is a lot weaker, and I'll be disappointed if she doesn't get the job done. Race 6, number 8, Jamie Keeping on Monday at Northam, Shorty.
Beautifully done. Cannington Saturday, 8-1 Nangar Chief. Northern Monday, 6-8 Jamie Keeping for the train. Shane, I appreciate your time as always. Good luck with all of your runners over the weekend.
See you later, mate. All the best.
There we have it, the Shane Train Williams to round out Great Greys. Just 3 plays for me tonight there at Northern Punters. Race 5, number 5. Brookton Lover looks well placed here for Johnny Vujacic. I thought that race 7, number 1, Stanger Fire would get the cash, and race 11, number 1, Daff's Yak. So 2 of the 3 the same as the Shane Train today. Hopefully we're in synergy and cheering home the same dogs in 7-1 Stanger Fire, 11-1 Daff's Yak. I also like race 5, number 5 in Brookton Lover. That's it for Great Greys on this Thursday. Thanks as always for your company, and to Maddie there in the studio. Much appreciated as always, Maddie. To everybody tuned in, enjoy the AFL finals tonight. Wishing you all many winners.